Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is February 25th, 2022. It's Friday night. This is Daniel Richardson, and this is Daniel's Horror Talk. Yes, coming to you Friday. My real work schedule has changed. I am now working 4/10s instead of 5/8s, so yeah, Friday night. It's kind of my Saturday night now, so I'll be doing the podcast from now on Friday nights. And before we get started, I want to wish Isabella Furman a happy birthday. She was the young actress who played the orphan in the movie The Orphan. So yeah, there you have it. So before I really get started on anything this week, I want to, I mentioned last week that Angel's short film Attack the Giant Ladybug was officially selected to be a part of the Chinali Indie Film Festival. Well, we just found out this past week that it actually won Best Experimental Film. That is fucking awesome. So yeah, no, we've been pumped about this all week. We've been, it's weird how literally, I mean, we've had good luck elsewhere too. Don't get me wrong. We've definitely had, a big string of victories with Attack of the Giant Ladybug, but it seems like right now we're just hitting all these like little Indian film festivals and like just killing it right now. So I don't know. I'm really happy that it found an audience, an international audience. I'm glad we're doing really good over in India right now. That is really cool. So just insane to think that like we're here in Bedford, Indiana, making a short 3-minute film with me dressed up as a ladybug attacking a girl, and this thing has found an audience in a foreign country. It really is. It just blows my mind. So I don't know. Real quick, thank you to the Chinali Film Festival, Indie Film Festival. Sorry, and yeah, to everybody out there who has watched us and supported us and likes what we're doing. Hey, thank you very much. We'll keep doing it. All right. So, all right. So before we go into the big thing I want to talk about today is we watched Scream this past week, the 2022 version. Why don't they just fucking call it Scream 5? I don't know. Anyways, we just watched Scream, so I'll be kind of going into my spoiler-free-ish review. I won't try to give away anything too major, because that's a dick move, because this is still a fairly new movie. But before I get into that, I want to talk about Texas Chancellor Massacre again. Talked about that in length last week. This week, I found out that, I guess, apparently, over the weekend when it was released, it was like the number 2 most watched thing on Netflix, like, period. Which is really fucking amazing, considering just how much this like was hated. Now, I guess we'll have to wait and see, because, I guess, everybody's going to watch initially just to kind of see if it's good or not, but I guess, the real test will be, where it's at next week and the following week and, so on and so forth. But, yeah, like I said, like I mentioned last time, I loved it. It's crazy to me, like, I saw a meme the other day, or no, sorry, someone said this on Twitter the other day, that, people just seem to be bitching about Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween Kills and, Malignant, and it's like, are they just, like, fucking sucking off A24 so much? And don't get me wrong, I love A24 horror films, I do, but it's like, I'm sorry, I like blood and guts, I like good old-fashioned, just quick slashers, badass, balls to the wall fucking horror films. Doesn't always have to be, an hour and 40 minutes of fucking art-driven horror with subtle scares. That's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, not every film has to be like that. So I just kind of, I don't know, I just think it's weird that, like, this new generation, the horror community is made of a lot of people who are just completely shitting all over these, new films coming out, just because I guess they're not artsy enough or whatever the case is. I don't even know what the biggest complaint about Texas Chainsaw Massacre is. I think everybody's just so hung up that Sally Hardesty was played by someone else, and it very reminiscent of Halloween Kills or even Halloween 2018. But I think that's the only complaint. But they just seem to be like, that's it. That sunk the entire movie for them. At least when I was shitting on Halloween 2018, I had good, legitimate reasons. I could break that movie down scene by scene why I fucking hated it. And why I also liked it. I mean, there were some things I liked about it, but overall, I fucking hated it. But so anyways, let's just get on to our regularly scheduled program with a very new segment. So anybody who's ever followed us on YouTube or any of the shows I always did, I don't know, I always like to have little fantasy bouts within horror, and so I thought, why not do this again? I'm actually using it as the source material here. I decided to have just random horror villain fights because, why not? It's fucking brilliant. Love discussing them, love just, breaking it down. And I like doing kind of unorthodox fights. Like, yeah, Freddy versus Jason, or Michael Myers versus Leatherface, or Pinhead versus the Tall Man, whatever, your fucking matchup is, those are fun, don't get me wrong. But it's like, those are the main ones. Like, they're too typical. They're too, that's your mainstream fight. Like, I want more random mix-up fights. I think that's just more, makes for a funner segment. And so, there was a website I go to, called terror.ca, I believe is what it's called. And anyways, the guy who runs it, his name is Stephen Hutchinson. And he wrote a review for Unspeakable Access, which is probably why I'm kind of fond of this guy. He wasn't even huge on Unspeakable Access, but he gave us a review nonetheless. So, but if you ever go to this guy's site, this guy has watched like thousands, and I mean, I'm not even exaggerating, thousands of horror films. I'll even go as far as maybe millions, maybe even millions. I don't know. This guy has seen just about every horror film you can think of, ranging from your mainstream classics all the way down to your unknown underground horror gems like Unspeakable Access here at TPS. So, like I said, this guy, he's seen it all. And if you go to his website, he's got a really cool breakdown of, he has it listed by genres and subgenres and even moods and, what the villains are, he just has so many different weird, crazy breakdowns. It's really cool, how he has it, set up, but really in-depth. But he has this little feature on there where you can you click the button, and it just brings you up a random movie. And so I figured, you know what, let's do that. And so I tapped that random movie twice, took 2 horror films, took the villains from them, and we're going to throw them in the cage, if you will. Not literally. You can have any scenario you want these guys to meet, but I kind of like the cage match because there's nowhere to hide. There's no, it's even footing for both, Unless you're a shark, I guess, then you're just kind of fish out of water and you're fucked. But either way, I digress. So the 2 movies that came up that we're going to pit the villains against each other, and it's kind of unique. It worked out this way. We got the aliens from Attack the Block. Those furry fucking bear things. I don't know. Fucking crazy beast things. Going up against the dolls from Dolls. Anybody who's ever seen Dolls, the Stuart Gordon film that, to me, feels a little bit like a ripoff of Puppet Master. I'm not really sure which came out first. I want to say Puppet Master came out first, but I could be wrong. But either way, those are the 2 films there. So, the 2 villains we're going to use. So there you have it. It's the Attack of the Block aliens against the dolls. Who do you think would win and why? Leave your votes wherever you're watching us at. That allows you to leave comments. Go right ahead. If you don't know, maybe you're listening to this someplace that you can't leave comments, then check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even YouTube. You can find all of our links below. I'll put them in the actual description here, so that way you'll have a place to go. But yeah, just drop me who you think wins between the Attack of the Block aliens and the dolls. So, without any further ado, let me just get right into what our big main topic's going to be. But first, take a drink. Oh, yeah. I'm hitting up a little bit of juice right now, a little bit of truffle punch. And now I'm cracking open my bottled water. Yay, I'm eating and drinking healthy. Fucking sucks. Sorry, just took another drink. Should have said take another drink. So anyways, yes, I watched Scream over the week, and you know what? I mean, just kind of the heads up. I love this movie. I thought it was really good. It felt like classic Scream to me, like the feel, the vibe. It took me back to parts 1 and 2, and so I was really kind of pumped about that. I really had no expectations going into this because honestly, I love the trilogy. I know Part 3 gets a lot of shit. Seems like Part 3 is getting a lot of shit now, especially. Like, everybody's just, cranking on that. But I love Part 3. I think 3 is really good. Not as good as 1 and 2, obviously, but still solid. And so, the trilogy, I have always loved. And then in 2011, when Part 4 came out, I don't know, I just fucking hated it. I didn't really like the movie. I didn't like the ridiculous red herrings. Like, they always have red herrings in all these movies, but, like, my God, when the deputy is, like, standing there in the hallway of Sydney and just looking crazed, and you're just like, really? what the fuck, Wes? Really is what we're doing? I don't know. I didn't care for Scream 4. I know it has its fans, but I thought the motive at the end, when you find out who the killer is and why they're doing it, it was just fucking ridiculous. I just couldn't get on board. And so and then the TV series came out, and it was like an MTV TV series, and I know I shouldn't judge it based on its, what network it's, broadcasting from, but I did, because fuck MTV and fuck who they're trying to promote to. I don't give a shit. It's for kids. It's for not even kids. It's just fucking little tweens, and it's just, I don't know. MTV's a joke anymore, and so anything that comes from MTV, I just tend to put my nose up at, because fuck it. And so anyways, I had no desire to see it. I didn't watch any of the Scream TV series. I'm not even sure if they're even canon. I can care less. But when they announced they were coming out with another Scream, and it was just called Scream, I was just like, I don't fucking care. I saw the trailer. Honestly, wasn't that excited from the trailer. It just didn't really hook me. But I knew I was going to watch it anyways, because, again, when it comes to major horror franchises, even if I start hating them, I'll stick around. Like I said, I thought Halloween 2018 sunk the franchise for me. But I did come back for Halloween Kills. Wasn't excited to, but I came back for Halloween Kills, and I ended up fucking loving that. And that's the same thing here. Hated Scream 4, came back for Part 5, and loved it. I think, and again, I just got in shitting on 4 for having the ridiculous motive. This one also has a pretty ridiculous motive. I let it slide, I guess, because everything else was so good. Like, the build-up, the kills, the story, it's all fucking gravy. When you get to the reveal, you're just kind of like, I guess. And I don't want to give anything away, but I mean, it's no different, I guess, from Mickey in Part 2. So, I mean, Mickey kind of already covered this ground a little bit. So, either way, it is what it is. But, no, I really dug this. It was great seeing the cast back. It was great seeing side characters back. It was great seeing them tie the characters of this movie into the previous franchise. And, I mean, I guess I'm going to drop a tiny spoiler here, but a lot of the kids in this movie, the teenagers, our protagonists, they are descendants from classic characters. I'll just mention, the boy from Goosebumps. His mom is the deputy that we mentioned earlier from Part 4, and there's twins that you find out are Randy's niece and nephew, because you met his sister in Part 3, so she returns. But and so everybody's kind of connected in one way or another to the original cast. And I thought that was really cool. So I like that. Again, I love the script. It was funny where it needed to be. It wasn't really, the horror wasn't really there. Although I will say the one scene I liked as far as tension goes, but it does kind of lose it about midway through, was there's a scene where the character of Wes is home, and the killer is there in the house with him. And again, it was just one of those things where it starts off like, oh shit, this could be kind of creepy and good. But then as it plays out, without going into too much detail and ruining it, I don't know, they hit this kind of pattern of like fake out scares, and you just know it's going to be a fake out every time. And then of course when they are done faking you out, they try to hit you with a real one, and at that point the tension's already out of the scene. So I mean, it wasn't, that was what it was. But no, I mean, overall, I like the movie, I like the story, I like where everything was heading with this. Yeah, I don't know what else really say without spoiling it too much. I will say that I thought the cast did really good. I even like the new additions to the crew. I mean, like I said, I think that's the thing that really took me out of Part 4. All those kids in Part 4 I just didn't like. I know everybody's a big fan of the what was her name? I don't remember her name. Kirby, that was it. I know everybody liked the Kirby character. I really wasn't that big on her. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't like that generation of kids. This generation didn't seem too bad. And again, it boggles my mind that there's like 11 years between Part 3 and Part 4, and then 11 years between Part 4 and Part 5. I thought that's just kind of crazy to think about, because it shows. You watch Part 3 and then turn around and watch this one. It's like, god damn, everybody aged super, super crazy. Courtney Cox is great coming back, as Gale Weathers. And I will say the chemistry between her and David Arquette was a little bit better this time. I always thought it was funny that, the first 3 movies, they were actually, or they met on the scene of Part 1, and they were dating during Part 2, they were married in Part 3, and they always had this great on-screen chemistry. Even if their characters are on the outs, or, they're split up, or whatever, they're fighting, it's just fun to watch them. You could tell they were in love at that time. They were very happy, even if their characters were not. And then, in part 4, they're married. Like, they're fucking married. And this is after their real-life divorce, and you can tell because the chemistry's gone, the magic's gone, the love is gone, and they don't look like they like each other at all. Even like when they, reconcile at the end, and they're kind of, smoothing things out. It was just like, I don't know. I would have pushed to have them split up there in part 4. But here in part 5, this has been many years after the divorce now, again, over a decade, and it seems like they kind of had a spot in their lives where they kind of just, live and let live, And so, even though they're, and I guess it's a small spoiler, and I apologize, they're separated when we start this movie off. But when they do kind of get back together on the screen, I don't know, it seems like that magic was starting to come back. There's little flickers of it, and I don't know. It seems like they were both kind of just in a good place mentally, I guess, to film the scene with their, ex-spouse, and it shows on camera. So I like that. So again, it felt like everybody was clicking here, and that was, the other good thing. Neve Campbell came back. She's always a plus in these films, obviously. But to me, I think that the biggest character I really liked in this movie, aside from the original 3, obviously, because I'm sorry, Deputy Dewey all day long, but I really dug the twins. Once again, they're Randy's niece and nephew, and again, they're kind of the movie nerds in this series, or in this film, sorry. And then I really like the character of, I forget, Jack Quaid's the actor's name, I forget the character's name, but basically, the main siblings in this movie, the two sisters, he's dating the older one. And I just like, he's just like, he's the clueless guy. Like, he's the audience, kind of, in a sense, where it's like, well, I guess maybe not fully, but he's from the outside. He comes in, he doesn't know the Stab movies too well. He's having to, rewatch it. And again, this is all, like, brand new to him. So, I don't know. I just kind of liked that character, and just how, being an outsider of horror films, you kind of see the obvious things that, horror fans, even if they see it, they don't like to acknowledge. And I just liked him, like, constantly just like, yeah, we need to get out of Murder Town and get the fuck out of here. I mean, just like he's saying the real shit. I don't know. I like that character. I thought it was really good. So anyways, Scream 5, I definitely recommend it. I've always seen, because I know Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out this year, but come on, it's a Netflix movie, it's an internet movie. It will not qualify for my Danny Awards at the end of the year because it's streaming. I'm sorry, I'm old school like that. So, hook me up on Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese's side, because I'm all about legit theatrical releases. So, Scream 5 for me, probably the best movie I've seen this year. I've only seen 2 movies so far in 2022, but it's definitely, it's a top one. It beats Death on the Nile, which wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a great movie either. It was alright. It was alright. I feel like just not my genre overall. Like, I love mysteries, but not that old-timey kind of shit. And I don't know, this one just felt like a new take on an old-timey type thing. I don't know. Not talking about that, though. Scream, #1 movie of the year right now. Think it's awesome. Loved it. And surprised that everybody else likes it, too, because I just feel like the way the track record is with good horror films, people are just shitting on nowadays. So, anyways, yeah, Scream, check it out if you haven't already. And I'm really glad that I haven't been looking for it, but I was afraid, because I didn't watch it, right when it came out, that I was afraid that if I waited too long, which I did, I waited about a month and 3 weeks before, seeing it, that by the time I got around to watching it, it would already be ruined or spoiled. And I can seriously say, like, nope, it didn't. Went into it not knowing anything about, who the killer was. With that said, I will say this. I did predict the identity of Ghostface in this one. Won't say anything beyond that, but yeah, figured it out pretty quickly. It is a little obvious, but I think it's okay. Again, good movie, good journey to go along on. So there you have it. So I'm gonna take a quick drink. Everybody, drink up, because now time for me to give you your weekly horror double feature. You know how I like to do it. I like to program a double feature for you guys to watch. I'll provide you with 2 films plus the trailers to tack on with that for your awesome Saturday night horror double feature, or Friday night, depending on whenever you listen to this, I guess. So this week, the double feature, the trailers we're going to start off with is It Follows and Halloween 2018. kind of setting up, it's just the first movie's more modern, so I want to grab some movies from that era. And even though I hate 2018 Halloween, it will kind of lead into what the next movie will be, the second feature. But it follows Halloween 2018, and those trailers lead into the first feature, the Babadook. I'll be honest with you, I am not a fan of the Babadook. I am programming this for, the popular audiences out there, I guess, the people who like, these horror films, even if I don't. And this one does have an audience. I mean, it is, again, one of those artsy A24 type horror films. And again, I love those typically. This is not one of them. My problem with this movie was, I did like the story, and I guess I wouldn't call it a twist, I guess, just how it ends. Again, the whole movie's just a metaphor, whether if you're battling depression or grief or whatever your mental illness of choice is, that's what Babadook is. He's just a representation of that. And by the end, when they lock it in the basement, it just goes to show, like, even if you do get help, you can push that down, but you will never fully get rid of, whatever illness you're suffering from, whether it be depression or, some other sort of mental illness. It's always going to be in the basement there lurking. So you got to just manage it. You got to, make sure you keep an eye on it to protect yourself and the ones you love. And that's fine. I love that message. I like that concept. It's cool. I dig it. My problem with this movie was two things, and this is kind of what my problem was Blair Witch was the first time I watched it, so maybe I need to turn around and watch this again, was, nothing fucking happens. Yeah, it's full of atmosphere, I guess, but goddamn, it's like, do something. Fucking something happened. No, nothing fucking happens in this movie. And then the other thing is, goddamn, that kid was annoying. I fucking hated that kid, like, seriously. Wanted to thump that kid so fucking hard, the kid was just, I don't know. I was rooting for his mom to kill him at the end. I really was. Like, I'm not even joking. That sounds dark as shit, but I was. I was just like, you know what? There is no Babadook. You're the one who's crazy. Kill your kid. Kill him now. Get him out of my misery. And that's how I truly felt about that. And I apologize for that. Rubbed people the wrong way, but fuck that kid. Anyways, so yeah, Babadook. So take a drink. Okay. So after that's over, your next two trailers, we're going to kick things off with the original Halloween 2, and then A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. And that will lead into our second feature, which is the OG original Halloween. Halloween is, without a shadow of doubt, my favorite horror film of all time. It's the perfect slasher, perfect suspense, the perfect horror villain. I mean, my God, there's just nothing about this movie that's wrong. And even like the mistakes, the shit that you can point out, the continuity problem, the whatever, it's okay because the movie's so good you overlook it. So when you're looking at, a bunch of dead leaves on the ground, but the trees are green as shit, and you can tell this is not filmed in fall or even in Illinois, you don't care, The fact that, the whole POV of Michael Myers in the very beginning of the movie is clearly from an adult. But then when we, he's looking down at the handle when he opens the door, and yet when we see at the, after the first scene, he's a kid. It's okay. We buy into it. We're okay with that. And that just, it's just a testament right there to just how great this movie is. Yeah, like I said, my favorite horror film of all time, and in my top three just films in general of all time, Halloween. You just can't beat it. So, quick recap. You got It Follows, Halloween 2018, your trailers, and then your first feature will be the Babadook, and then the trailers for Halloween 2 and Nightmare on Elm Street, and then your second feature is Halloween. So there you have it. So guys, that's all I really got this week. This is short. I was trying to stretch this out to a half hour, but I don't think I'm going to quite make it. So I will just take this remaining time to kind of tell you guys again, thank you for listening. It means a lot. This little audience I have kind of corralled here. It's really cool. I'm digging it. So thank you for listening. Help us out. Again, share this wherever you're listening to this on. I know I'm on Anchor, Spotify, a handful of other ones. I apologize if I'm not getting them, but we're on like 8 different platforms, I believe. Not counting also here on YouTube if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on YouTube. But either way, that's how you help out TPS. That's how you help us out here just share. Share anything and everything. I mean, literally, that's what it's all about. So, you're on YouTube, you see a video of mine that's not, podcast related, share it. You're on Facebook and you see a post that, we post. Hey, share it, Instagram, like it up. Can't really share Instagram posts, but hey, you can retweet on Twitter. So, same there. Give us that retweet, give us the follow. Just, keep showing your love and support and everything. We really do appreciate it. And if, once again, never want to beg for money and panhandle out here, but if you are one of those rich people who just want to, be a philanthropist and help out those that are maybe not doing as well as you, hey, you can't get any lower than TPS. We are at the ground floor here. We're at the very bottom of the list here. So you got a few cents you want to throw our way. You got some loose change. By all means, hit us up on our Patreon, or there's even a link here that shows you how to you can support us here on Anchor. So either way, all that stuff, it's we appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And then, of course, another way to support us is you can get the movies. We have 3 DVDs out currently right now. You can order that through our PayPal. Again, all these links I'm going to put in the description here, so no problem. You'll be able to find them. Check us out on our PayPal. Let us know what DVD you want. We got 3 DVDs. Of course, the first one, our big one, it's Unspeakable Access, our feature film. 2 serial killers are on death row, and right before they are being executed, they decide to grant their only interview. And young Donald Willis, a journalist fresh out of journalism school, decides to, he's going to take the plunge. But this plunge takes him straight into the dark side, into a world of torture, rape, murder. Yeah, check it out. Again, according to Stephen Hutchinson, it's a weird fucking movie, and I couldn't agree more. We're very proud of it. It's a bit dark. Please make sure you're at least 18 years of age, because it does have some pretty fucked up shit in it. So there you have it. And then, of course, we have our public domain dungeon DVDs. What the public domain dungeon initiative is basically we just wanted to make sure we got some material out there, because again, before COVID hit, we were planning on hitting a lot of film festivals horror conventions with Unspeakable Acts. However, when you get on that vendor table and all you see is one DVD, I was just like, we got to have more. And so we decided to kind of comb the public domain horror films out there. However, you can find these anywhere, and typically you can find them on YouTube or, the Internet Archive or whatever. Or, you probably already bought them because, you can buy the DVD that has like 100 movies on it for $5 at your local Walmart, and it has every public domain horror film out there. So what makes ours different? Well, we give it a little TPS twist. The very first one, Volume 1, was the early years of horror. We took 13 of the horror films from the early silent era, and we gave them all new audio tracks. We got local bands from around here, Open Grave, Thin Lines, Get Up and Kill. They all, perform different, scores and songs and stuff. We also had Josh Chaney here at TPS. He did a few audios on there too, where he just did the dialogue differently, or one of them he actually does like audio director's commentary for like this old film from like 1800 or whatever. I mean, just wacky, crazy stuff. But again, stuff you can't find anywhere else. It's exclusive here at TPS. So, anyways, that's the film, and then every DVD has an exclusive short film right from here at TPS. So the first volume had the film, the first Snuff film. Again, this is another one that I definitely recommend being at least 18 years or older to buy, because it does have some nudity and whatnot. It is short, like I said. It's only it's like 7 minutes, something like that. It's not a real long film, but still, yeah, it's a TPS original. And then the second volume DVD we have, it's Nosferatu, and in that one, buddy of mine, Simon Terrell, who is the lead singer of both Get Up and Kill and Open Grave, was doing this. He also did some solo stuff that's also featured on the early years of horror. But here, he did the score for Nosferatu. He just did a whole new score. Definitely, it's more like a nightmarish soundscape. Very a lot of ambient noises, more, like I said, definitely more of a soundscape than like a traditional score, but that's, what we did on that one. And then also on that we have the short film Chris Cage, Modern Day Van Helsing, which is, the adventures of Chris Cage. He's just a knockoff Van Helsing who isn't nearly as good, but it's our first attempt at comedy, and I don't know. It tickles me when I watch it, so hopefully it'll do the same for you. And that's a little bit longer. It's like, it's a 13-minute shorter, whatever. So, and not only that, on both these DVDs, we also have other special features, including like, music videos or behind-the-scenes interview kind of stuff, or, just different little featurettes. On one of them, I believe it's the Nosferatu, I get completely shit-faced drunk as I try to explain the history of Nosferatu, which just ends with me doubling over, throwing up, and everything else. It's a good time, so that's how you can support us here at TPS. So, guys, that's all I got this week. Thank you so much for watching, and, hey, till next time. Wait, did I say thank you for watching? Hey, thank you for listening. Maybe you're watching the blank screen on the YouTube video. I don't know. But either way, thanks for listening.